So I wanted to discuss about this GeoTessera embeddings a little bit. So GeoTessera is a foundation model where, and is completely open source, by the way. It was released recently only, and what it provides you is pixel-wise embeddings. They have a model that they created, and once you run through the model, and that model requires Sentinel-1 data and Sentinel-2 data for the entire year. Even if it is cloudy, the processing that they do internally, which they have the internal processing, that can eliminate the bands which have clouds, or not bands but the images which have clouds. So basically it runs the entire pipeline and then gives you the embedding, and the embeddings look something like this at the end. Now this is PCA, which is after 128 vectors you compress it down or bring it down to 3 so that you're able to see it on the map. Now the problem with this, so far it was good, but the problem with this is you have coverage only in limited areas. Though they say that it is present across the entire world, where they have mentioned it, that the version 1 is present across the world, and version 2 they have limited coverage, but they are again working on the version 2. So the version 1.1 is just partial coverage, but they're still working on version 2, which again can amount to 650 TB worth of data. So if you were to generate your own embeddings, you have to download data for the entire year for Sentinel 1 and 2, then pass it through their pre-processing step, which they have mentioned it uh, here, which is again written in Rust, some part of it, and then run through the model, which again should run on GPU. Otherwise, I tested it and it ran for 4 hours for my 5 kilometer by 5 kilometer area. So that is why I prepared this nice little workflow which runs entirely on the cloud and is serverless. So only you pay once you run the workflow. Basically, what you have to do is you come to this workflow, you select the area of interest that you would like to do it, and I recommend not going beyond 20 kilometers because it might take a long time just downloading the data itself. But I mean, it is up to you. If you want it, you can do. Once you do that, then it will run the entire process. It will fetch the Sentinel 1 and 2. You can see the code here also. Fetch the Sentinel 1 and 2, then assemble the tiles according to what it requires, and then run the model on Modal. So Modal is a company which gives you serverless GPU. It runs on their backend, which I've integrated here, and you again only pay for the few seconds that you're running the program. Once this is completed, you get back the result something like this. Now all the data set that we generated is saved here. Here you can see we have embeddings which are generated and we have saved it here, and also the retiled images. So internally it tiles it so that it becomes much easier for the program to run it. By default it takes 512 by 512, the modal uh, imagery itself. So yeah, at the end you get something like this, which is very neat to just visualize. Here you can clearly differentiate between the croplands, the areas, the urban areas, and also mountainous regions. Again, the color does not represent any other single feature by itself, but it helps us differentiate between the features very clearly.